for us or done some other volunteer activity for us? Rohan, thank you, thank you. Did you enjoy it? Let me ask you guys, you had your hands up. Was it fun? Did you do it in the Dublin area? Or did you do it someplace else?
Yeah, Columbus.
Okay. If you do holidays and things like that, sometimes you come to our building, but generally if you do it during the week, you never leave Dublin. People think they got to drive a long way to get the meals and stuff. Up here we have 2 drop points. One of them's right down the street at St. Bridget, and the van comes up, you're pre-trained. Ron knows this, and you just show up at a certain time. The van comes, got 7, 8 routes on it. You take your bags and your route sheet, drive around your route, and come back and drop your bags off at St. Bridget or at the other church location where we have a deal because we don't have the money to pay these people for these sites. Okay? So you never leave Dublin, so it's a really easy deal to do, or you can go someplace else. Now, because our funding is going down, you know, we were heavy government for a long time. That's changing. They've been cutting. United Way isn't raising what it used to raise. And whoever you're associated with, whatever group you work with, and many of you are on boards, I'm sure, or volunteers for organizations, you got the same story. Those funds aren't what they used to be. So you have 2 choices. You either cut clients and programming, or you come up with some other way to replace the revenue. Now, I spent 20 years in for-profit before I got into this, and I would tell you, I'm driving Michael nuts because I'm walking around here. I'm sorry, Michael. God love him. Isn't he nice? He's so nice. But anyway, make me look like I have hair when we put that there. But anyway, we just don't have the funding we used to. I was with somebody not too long ago, another director of another agency in our world, and she had just lost about 1/7 of her budget. Now think through this in your businesses. If you lost clients suddenly today that accounted for 1/7 of your revenue, you'd have to make some adjustments, right? So after I listened to her, I said, so what are you going to do? Without even thinking, she said, got to cut clients, got to reduce clients. And Meals on Wheels of America, which I'll focus on today, tells us that 1 out of 4 of us right now is cutting clients. And I would tell you the top 50 cities in the United States, we are the only ones we're aware of right now that do not have a waiting list and are accepting clients today. Okay? So you got to have a way to make this up. How do you make up for the funding? I was 20 years for-profit before I got into this gig, like I said, and if we had a product in the for-profit world that wasn't selling, what'd you do? You dumped it, right? You got rid of it. And you might get a letter or 2 from a couple people who like that product, but really, nobody really cared because it wasn't selling that well, which is why you got rid of it. In our world, we drop a product, one of those products you see up there, somebody's in trouble. We are not running summer camps. We are not doing fluffy stuff. And I know I'm standing here in the white shirt and suit today, but I've got another one of these talks, and I got to go ask somebody for money. And trust me, when we ask somebody for money, they expect you to look good. Okay? You would expect that too. And that's my job. But the fact of the matter is, we do very, very basic stuff. We're in bad neighborhoods delivering a $2.50 meal. We're sending a nurse out, we're sending a cleaning person out, or we're helping people through cancer, AIDS, or other afflictions they have. Nothing fluffy. It's keeping them in their home, out of a homeless shelter, things like that. So I can't drop programming. So, at least I should. We're doing it all over the country. So how do we do this? How do we get around it? Well, the new model that you're seeing a lot of not-for-profits do, and I hear you're working with a number of different groups, whether it's Salvation Army or whoever it might be, they've got the same issues. So the 4 things that help you out in this world that you're going to hear these groups do, and frankly, if you're on a board of another not-for-profit, who's on a board of a not-for-profit other than Dublin Rotary? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what the funders are saying right now in Central Ohio. The people, the corporate funders. You need to be talking about these 4 things. And I'm kind of a big proponent of it. And in fact, we got a little committee of funders and some of the larger agencies that work on this stuff. But there's 4 things that you